a few weeks into the official lockdown period here in the UK, and loads of other countries are in lockdown. US, a lot of the countries in Europe, a few of the countries in Africa are in lockdown, and everybody is beginning to feel the pressure. People are beginning to get bored, basically being cooped in your house 24/7 and only going out when you've got to go shopping. People are just bored, and people are asking, when is all these going to happen? What next? What next? What next? As we continue to hear about the figures going up, about the figures around COVID infection and deaths going up, certainly here in the UK and in the US, people are just wondering when this is all going to end and what happens. Now, my take on this is, yes, we're waiting and we're watching for the COVID curve, the number of deaths to rise. It will go down, and I am praying that this COVID period and the lockdown comes to an end pretty quickly. One thing I know for sure is that we will get over COVID. We will, with patience, with us keeping to the instructions that we've been told to wash our hands, keep our social distance, stay isolated and stay home. If we continue to keep these instructions, the NHS or the health service will thank you loads, because they will get a lot less infected people. And by the way, my name is Dr. Evelyn Tawia, the success and leadership coach. I am also a worker in the NHS. I am a frontline staff member, and I see firsthand the effects of COVID. So I do understand the effects, but I want us to now just take some time to think about some of the possible consequences of the COVID season when all this is ended. Because as I keep saying, this too shall pass. Yes, it is bad. Yes, it is difficult, but we will see an end to it. I want to highlight one or two things to all the people who are listening to me now, and it will be the consequences, the long-term consequences of the COVID of the COVID infection and the COVID plague and pandemic. Now, in the US and Canada have received checks from their government, giving them some money to take them through the season. In the UK, some measures have been put in place and people can apply for all sorts of relief because of the economic consequences of COVID. One thing I want you to ask yourselves is where all this money is coming from. Because certainly I work in the NHS and I know how cash strapped we've been for years and years and years. All of a sudden, there's a lot of money coming into the system. I want you to ask yourself the question. So it's very nice to receive the checks or to apply for the benefits and whatever. But I want us to think in the long term, because when this pandemic and infection is over, the economic consequences will be going on for generations. So I want with this video for us to just think a bit about the financial consequences of the COVID virus. Now, like I'm saying, the US is printing a lot of money. They're printing billions every day. The UK is doing the same. All the countries in Europe are doing the same. Everywhere, the governments are just printing cash and injecting some cash into the system just to keep the economy going. And what you've got to realize is that we don't have any money. None of the countries, very few countries had money. All the countries are broke. And yet still now, all of a sudden, we found some money that we're pumping into the system. I want people to understand what's going on. Now, although I'm a medical doctor, I've always loved personal finances. And I got introduced to the ideas of personal finances and being financially aware, managing your money, by a guy called Robert Kiyosaki. His book's known as the Rich Dad, Poor Dad series, and he's got a lot of books, and I'll put some of the books down in the description. Loads of books that people can begin to read to become financially aware. So my challenge for you in this lockdown, downtime, boring time, we don't know what we're doing with ourselves time, let us take this opportunity to become a bit more financially aware. Start with the books by Robert Kiyosaki. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, because in those series, our eyes are open to personal finances, how you can manage your finances, how I can manage my finances, and more importantly, my again challenge to you is to scale up ourselves during this downtime. Let us scale up ourselves. Let us learn new stuff. Find some time to look at your personal finances, because it's one of the areas that is so important to your long-term health and well-being. Yes, I'm a doctor, but your finances affect your health long before you come into the hospital to see us. So it is important that you have a look, see what all this money printing is going to mean for you and I. This is the time to learn something new. Now, I'm always one to talk about people maybe getting some new skills on the internet, seeing how you can use the internet to make you some money. I'm going to be leaving some links down, like I said, apart from the books, some links of some of the things that I do to earn a bit of money. This is outside my doctor job. This is outside my 9 to 5. This is money that is coming in, whether I go out to work or not. So this is what I want you to think about. All of us think about financial health and well-being, because this will be affected years and years and years after the plague is gone. Because our nation is printing paper money. It's just like a country is taking out a giant credit card. Just look at it like that. A giant credit card, and we're just spending. This is what Britain is doing. This is what the US is doing. This is what all the nations are doing. We're spending money that we don't have. This will affect your finances, and it will affect my finances. If you understand personal finances, you will know where to position yourself so that you'll come out of this crisis a lot better than you went in. You owe it to yourself to get financially savvy. So thank you very much for listening. If you're new to me and you don't know about my services, well, not my services, subscribe to my channel, because I'll be producing some more as we get through the crisis. Subscribe to the channel, share if you found this useful, and just buy some of the books. You might not be able to get it delivered, but you can download, or you can buy some of the audio, or the Kindle, or Amazon, yes, the Kindle, and just listen to some of these books as you go around, because you will learn a lot, and you will position yourself in the right place to be financially successful as we move along with this crisis. So thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like my videos, because it does mean a lot to me. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.